I know what's ahead. I could feel the future.
From a producer of Top Gun Maverick and based on the award-winning novels by Isaac Asimov comes the next Apple TV Plus streaming event.
Empire and our foundation headed for war.
This could change everything.
The Foundation is a threat to my empire. We will destroy them.
We are taking the planet!
Foundation, the new season, streaming July 14th, only on Apple TV Plus.
Hey, what's going on? It is the ManFUzed Podcast. I am Kay Lee, your host, my co-host, Ben H., as always, hanging out with me. So today we're going to discuss cocaine in the workplace. You normally don't get news that they found cocaine in a small baggie inside a cubby hole inside the White House.
Yeah, dime bag in the White House. Who could it be?
Who's using booger sugar in the walls of the White House? Now, but I guarantee there's a bunch of people snorting coke or meth up in the fucking White House, working all hours of the damn night. Don't tell me there are no drug addicts in the White House.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's a pretty dire situation. A dime bag of blow in the White House.
And they found it in a cubby.
Yeah.
A cubby that is widely used because if you tour the White House, they do, I believe, take your phones, or you have to store some of your items that you can't bring everywhere on the tour, I believe, like your cell phone, you know, your Coke bag. But I mean, shit, your Coke bag should be in your little pocket in your pants, or in your wallet or something.
Well, dude, they got pictures of Hunter with crack pipes and all kinds of weird
now,
things.
Was it a coincidence? Was Hunter outside of the White House that day, or where wasn't he in the vicinity?
I don't know the timeline. I mean, he's always there.
And actually, he smokes crack. He's a fucking true nightmare.
He's very much involved.
And Biden, he's like probably Biden's, anytime someone brings him up, you know it's coming. Oh my God, my asshole son. This guy's a fucking black sheep of the family.
Well, there's video of he and his family, Jill Biden and Joe Biden. They're all standing out on like the terrace of the Capitol, or maybe it's the back terrace of the White House or something. I don't know the whole timeline of when it was found in this, but Hunter is just like rubbing his nose and like
he is
wiping
gacked
his
up.
brow.
He is jacked up.
He looks completely geeked up.
Licking his lips because his face is numb. Like, I'll be vulnerable. You know, I have partied a decent amount in my days.
He's a party animal.
I'm no Tommy Lee or, you know, fucking some of these people that are just Nikki Sixx, where I've fucking died and had to be fucking had a shot in the heart to be resurrected.
You
but
did?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I'm not one of those people. But
You're
I
not
did.
one of them.
I did go through a pretty, call it a bad cycle for me. Doing blow a lot when I was younger, and I had a problem with it. And I think it was just a bad cycle. It was some would say from the outside I was addicted, but like I had this drug dealer that was living like right down the street.
Yeah.
And he knew like if he came by, I was going to get some.
Right.
And it was on one of these things where it was like, all right, I'm not doing it today.
Yeah.
And then this asshole would come by, and the next thing you know, I'd be fucking snorting a line of coke.
Yeah.
But when you've been around coke and people who do it, you can spot it like it's like they have a tell from a mile away.
Yes,
they're
absolutely.
constantly licking their lips. They're moving their face. They just they're not at ease.
No.
Because they're gacked the fuck up.
Yeah.
And they're probably thinking to themselves, God, I want another line right now.
That's right. I heard that the dopamine hit from blow lasts about 9 minutes.
And here's the thing.
And then it's like you crash.
Well, here's the thing. And this is the same thing with, and I've never smoked crack, but I know from people who have. And I know the first time you smoke crack, just like the first time you probably use cocaine and get that feeling, you spend every other day or every other time you use that trying to get that first high, which you will never get again. So therefore, when you do it's like you do more of it because you want to try to get to that level. And what ends up happening is you know, the first time you do coke, I mean, for me, I'm like, I had the best time that night. And then as you keep doing it, well, now you're not having a good time. And now it's turned into something completely different. And now it's making you reclusive instead of outgoing and talking to everyone. Now you don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to be alone with your Coke. And that probably goes with any addiction, like with any substance abuse.
Well, narcotics are a special kind of thing, It's
a special kind of hell.
Yeah, the way that they destroy your life and ultimately make, if you go too far down the rabbit hole, turn you into someone completely different, have you doing things that you would never do. It literally overtakes you in the form of addiction. Really very harmful, but
what a fucking nightmare. So
Yeah.
the Secret Service is coming in, they're questioning people, they're fingerprinting the baggie.
Right. We still don't know the results.
And I don't know that we ever will.
Probably
even if
not.
they know the results.
Yeah.
They're looking, do the cubbies have cameras on it? Now they have a record of every person that comes through that door.
That's right.
But you've got people who work in the White House. Mm-hmm. You've got the help of the White House, the maids, the cooks, and then you've got the tourists. So how many people came through the fucking White House doors in a day? I mean, probably hundreds.
This whole administration is such a disgrace, and it's a disgrace because it's being intentionally done this way to show weakness. If it's not being intentionally done to show weakness,
it's the most Mickey
Mouse. Even worse.
It's the most Mickey Mouse operation you've ever fucking seen.
Well, it appears to be, but it's quite not, right? Because they are running the country. I mean, they are running the executive branch of the government.
And I'm not saying everything they do is bad.
I am.
Okay. The country is still running. It's still running, whether we like the way it's running. It's running. I mean, we got Biden walking in front of the king.
It's just a disgrace. I mean, everything that's being done, yeah, sure, it's still being done, but it's being done in a way that is so unnecessarily bad for us that it doesn't make sense, I guess is the best way for me to say it. You can look at a situation and say, I could do it this way or I could do it this way. The way that they're doing a multitude of different things is really bad for us. It's bad for the United States of America. For example, I'll give you an example.
Please.
15 million people have come across the southern border since Biden took office. 15 million.
Now, they're not all residing here?
Oh, yes, they are. It is open border. Right now, it's open border. People are coming in by the millions.
And we're not sending anyone out.
We're not stopping them.
Well, where the fuck are they then?
We don't know. They're shipping them to different cities all over the United States. Okay? It is absolute insanity. So that's just one thing. We could go through a multitude of different things. I mean, we could go through foreign policy. We could talk about how they're dealing with China. We could talk about the Russian-Ukraine situation, which they created, by the way. We've put $200 billion toward that. The way we left Afghanistan, the biggest military embarrassment of all time for the United States of America. People don't forget about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That pullout was an embarrassment.
It was an embarrassment. Why do you think that Russia, and then what happened? All of a sudden, Putin's firing missiles at Ukraine. Now you got Biden saying, oh, we're out of ammo. We're running low on ammo.
So let me ask you a question, and I have a little inside information. So there was something that Biden, I saw on social media, and it was a clip of Biden accidentally slipping when he said something.
Yeah, does that.
He made a remark that people were like questioning, did he just fucking slip? And he made a remark about the war in Iraq.
Yeah.
We have, my wife Erin and I are close with a couple, the dad, who's currently in the military.
Right.
I guess decently high up. I thought he was somehow in the medical side of things. His wife was talking with my wife the other day, and he got a call saying that at any moment he was going to be shipped out and deployed for a year. And my wife goes, is he going to Iraq? His wife just looked at her because technically she's not supposed to say anything, right? It's not supposed to be shared, but she basically implied that he was.
That's interesting.
What the fuck is going on in Iraq right now? Biden made a slip, and someone close to me is saying he is going to be deployed for a year to handle something. And his wife basically insinuated that, yes, he's going to Iraq. So what is going on in Iraq that the media, or maybe they are reporting about it? No, I haven't heard a fucking lick about anything.
They're not. Just like they're not reporting about the dime bag, just like they're not reporting about, anything. It's ridiculous. But
do you know of anything going on in Iraq right now?
Certainly. Oh, yeah. The biggest game in town has been brewing for decades, and it's called Iran. And that is something that is very much at the forefront of the foreign policy of the leadership that we have in office right now, who are the career politician, the career elite. You could call them Illuminati, you can call them whatever you want. They are the political class, the ruling class, and they want constant war. You could call it the military-industrial complex, whatever you want to call it. They want perpetual war, okay? And Iran has been a target of theirs for a very long time. And this administration, whether it continues or not, is in question, of course, because there's an election coming up, right? So they don't know if they have another 4 years. This is coming to a close. And so that would be my guess, is that they're going to try to make a move on Iran.
But is Iran trying to take over Iraq?
Certainly, yes. They basically have.
Iran,
yeah.
Iraq has its own government now,
which has become a sub-state of Iranian control.
So now the U.S. is going, oh no, you're not going to take over this country. Is that basically?
That's right. Or is the strategy to leave, allow them to come in so that we have a reason to go back and push them out? Now we have a war because Iran is directly on the border of Iraq. Okay. So now you have a war. You see what I'm saying? So there could be a strategy in how we left, let them come in, and then utilize that. Hey, we can't let the most evil regime mankind has ever seen. We can't let the mullahs take over Iraq. Look at all the trillions of dollars.
So now we have a reason to fight them.
I don't know that.
We don't know the end game. Right?
Yeah, I don't know anything. But that would be my guess. If you have troops deploying to Iraq. The other thing is that geographically, Iraq is directly south of Ukraine. There's a pretty long distance between there, but it's directly south of Ukraine. So it could be that because we have access to Iraq, you know what I mean, that we would do a troop buildup in Iraq in preparation for going to war with Russia,
or Iran.
Or Iran, or both. Or we could get our ass kicked. It's very, very bad right now. The situation that these guys have put us in is just like...
Has it ever been good?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for how long? Well, I guess it's your definition of good.
I think the idea that I have, which would be, regardless of however it has been, if it were up to me, if I were the president of the United States, I would want to keep good relations, obviously, internationally. I would want to largely let countries run however they want to run.
But I would be strong.
Of course, very strong. You don't want to, but I would focus on the United States. I would focus on our interests.
Infrastructure,
I would focus on
homeless, our citizens.
I would focus on spending money that, by the way, is debt for our children, okay? We're spending trillions of dollars to go blow up the Ukraine and all this kind of craziness.
Or to give to Ukraine to blow up and defend against Russia, which ultimately they antagonized the war in the first place.
And there's no way that they can defend against Russia. All of these reports about Ukraine fighting and winning and pushing the Russians back.
And launching their offensive.
It's so temporary, and now now they want to give them F-16s and cluster bombs. Cluster bombs, okay, were completely outlawed by, I don't know if it was the Geneva Code. The United Nations made cluster bombs illegal in warfare. You can't blow other people up with this anymore.
Why is that?
Because they are so devastating. They're so devastating and they kill so many civilians.
Is that when they drop? It's like multitudes of them. There's like it's like a trail of them that just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. So what cluster bombs do is they blow up above the ground and shoot out other bombs.
Yeah.
That blow up all over the place, in the air.
It's like
on
the bombs have babies.
Yes.
Baby
exactly.
bombs. Hey, dust these old fucking things
sent
off.
cluster bombs to hit Russia with. That's not good. Yeah. Russia is no fucking joke. The idea that they are is a mistake.
Well, I mean, but they are pretty sloppy, and their fight has been pretty weak in there. But they do have stamina, and they do have.
They've got the numbers, man, and I'm just saying.
Well, they'll make the numbers because they'll send every citizen to die.
Russians are very proud to be Russians. I think Putin has like a really high favorability rating. And, these people
But still, like even after the results of this war?
Yeah, absolutely. They're in support of it. I mean, what they're saying is, hey, we're not going to let the West continue to push our borders. We're not going to let the West invade us. The West wants to take control of us.
Well, that's just his narrative to stay in control.
But it's also true. The West wants a regime change in Russia. Why else would we be spending $1 trillion over there by the end of the year?
But, I mean, but in our defense, he's evil as fuck. He oppresses his people.
Kinda. I mean, they elected him. They can elect somebody else. There's worse people in Russia. They have elections there. I mean, maybe he's got a grip of power, but who gives a shit? I mean, there's inequities throughout the world. On one of our other subjects we'll discuss, there's actually more slavery in the world right now than there's ever been. There's more people enslaved right now.
Human trafficking and shit like that. That's
Half
part of it.
Half of them are human trafficking, but there's more slavery today in the world. More people are actually enslaved today by the numbers than ever before. So we can't solve all the world's problems. We just can't. We got to focus at home is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's right, it's wrong, it's bad, or it's good.
I mean, really, when you and I set out to affect something, I mean, the first thing that you affect is those around you. You want to change the world, you probably got to change it from
within
where you are.
That's right.
And then have that spread out.
Within yourself, within your life, within your family.
If all your resources are going outward and you're not spending shit and to enhance the base.
I mean, look, I'm no fan of Saddam Hussein, but he did a pretty good job running Iraq. He did. He was oppressive, and a dictator and all those things.
Murderer
and so is the current guy who's leading. I mean, look at what they're doing in Iran. Look at what they're doing in Syria. Look at what they do in Jordan. I mean, in Saudi Arabia, there's places in the world where you get killed for being gay. I mean, all I'm saying is that we've got to focus on our own shit here at home, because if we think we can go out there picking fights with China, with Russia, there was a time when our military technology was super superior, and it still is. We left a lot of our military technology, current day, in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Guess who has that now?
The Taliban.
And Russia and Iran and China. I mean, they have all of our
They're
shit.
examining it and fucking...
Now they're reproducing it. I mean...
They're reverse engineering it.
Of course, that's what China does. I mean, they are the manufacturing powerhouse of the planet. So we're not necessarily at such an advantage as it pertains to like a ground war. Now, you wouldn't want to come over here, but if this keeps going, the idea of a fight on American soil becomes more and more and more possible. And that's in your backyard. And we don't think that can happen to us. The way that these guys are playing chess right now is they're building quite an alliance against us because they're fucking poking bears, dude. They're out there fucking with people. And I'm not for it personally.
It's crazy. All right.
I mean, nuclear is so bad. It's so bad now. I mean, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but that's like a T-ball game compared to the nuclear bombs and shit now that are going to start flying if we have nuclear war. It's quite dire. How did we get on this? Oh, the dime bag.
It was all from the coke.
Fucking
you see what happens? Cocaine is a hell of a drug. It's all from the dime bag.
Yeah.
That's what cocaine does. Even talk about it, and we just start ranting.
Well, in other news, something came out across my feed that I wanted to put through if I could. Since we're on this topic, I think that what I'm about to play is such a freaking far out thing, but it could be an answer for exactly what we're talking about here.
Now for the real news, a recent tweet from Roger Stone has ignited speculation about a potential Trump-Kennedy ticket in 2024. Stone's tweet suggests that combining Trump's anti-establishment appeal with Kennedy's historic charm could bring about a seismic shift in American politics. This alliance has the potential to unite polarized factions, challenge the status quo, and reshape the political landscape. Trump's bold vision and unfiltered communication style, coupled with Kennedy's commitment to social justice and diplomatic nuance, create a formidable force that rivals any contender. While opposition is expected, the resonance of a Trump-Kennedy ticket with the American electorate could be unprecedented, offering hope for those tired of bureaucratic inefficiency and political elitism. Whether this fusion ticket becomes a cornerstone of American history remains to be seen, but its potential impact is undeniable. Get the full story and the reaction by tapping the link in our bio.
I don't know if you've paid much attention to RFK Jr.
I've heard, I mean, a little bit.
He's fantastic.
I love him.
He's just he's wonderful, dude.
Okay.
And I don't care. I'd vote for him. I don't care if he's a Democrat or I would vote for the guy. I mean, absolutely. A lot of people don't like Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Trump. I don't like any of them.
Everybody has their own opinion, and that's fine. But the point is that if you took Trump and RFK, that could potentially bring against what? Biden-Harris? My idea of American values is that we're not split 50-50. I don't think we actually are. I don't think it's 51-49. I just don't believe that. I believe that there is a way that they can control the numbers to make it that way so that it looks close, so that if they need to, they can, boom, hit a couple numbers and somebody wins. And I think to really run away with something, you have to do it so big that it can't be marginalized.
It can't be denied.
Yeah, it can't be denied. I think there's a 10-point fudge factor that exists. But
fudge factor.
If you could get 70% to vote a certain way, and here's what this is about. It's not about Trump. It's not about the name. What it's about is it's about this idea that we all have individual sovereignty. It's about the idea that we all have the right to go and do and be who we want to be, that we do have a government that's by the people and for the people and not the other way around. Because the way that we're going right now, the direction we're heading right now, it's not that way. The values that are being espoused right now are not that way. So regardless, I think that's incredible news. Now, whatever you think of Roger Stone, whatever you think of the whole thing, for me, Trump-Kennedy would be the ultimate presidential ticket. And I feel like that's a bit of sunshine, a bit of good news in a lot of the bad news that's going on right now. And the truth is, you're not going to see the bad news as much on CNN, as much on the mainstream media. You got to dig to find the truth here.
I mean, well, when the narrative is put out in such a massive way, you've really got to comb through that and really go after other perspectives and listen to people make other points.
That's right.
That, one of the things in our, podcast description, and I believe one of our 5-star reviews that I posted on social media and sent you is that, here we offer a common sense perspective.
Honest.
Yeah, and honest.
Right or wrong.
And we don't take the media's, that narrative, as the truth. Could something that they say be true? I mean, very possible. But we look and we're open to other perspectives and people pointing out other points.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you find out that what the media is spinning isn't true.
No.
When it comes to light later down the road where you've already moved on to something else.
That's right.
Because that's the way our world works.
That's right.
We just, that's horrible. We move on to the next.
And it's just tomorrow.
Right. And it's all faded behind us. We offer, a common sense perspective. And in the review that we had, it's like we say what needs to be said.
That's right.
Because we're not going to sugarcoat it.
No.
I mean, at all. It is what it is. We're open-minded enough to... We're street smart. I mean, I'm not the most book smart person, but I can fucking see what's in front of me.
Absolutely.
And I believe what I'm interpreting.
Yeah, I'm not trusting the source beyond what I see with my own eyes. I'm just not. And I love talking to people that don't agree with my views. I can calmly discuss those things, and I learn a lot from people.
And I can be friends
who
with
I
those
disagree
people.
with,
Yeah, and I can be friends with them. We
Sure.
agree to disagree.
I'm open to changing my perspective if you can give me a better way of looking at it. If you can give me a better way to look at it or a way that makes more sense, I'm open to changing my perspective. Are you as open to changing your perspective as I am open to changing my perspective? Maybe not all the way in where you are, but I might decide toward you if you say something to me that makes sense, even if it's something that I previously may have disagreed with. I'm open to listen and learn.
Can we please talk about the fight of the billionaires?
The fight of the century.
Can we start?
Is it even going to happen? I mean, there's a fight going on right now.
Well, no.
It may never be a physical
Now,
fight.
I don't have all the timeline information in front of me. Mark Zuckerberg, billionaire, creator of Facebook/Meta, very powerful guy, controls a very powerful platform.
Obviously. He's the Zuck.
Right. And then you've got Elon Musk, one of the
That's
most innovative badasses to this day. Created Tesla, is sending rockets.
He's the real rocket man.
And they are sending shit up left and right. I mean, the news
Constantly.
reports very few of the rockets and satellites and trips that are happening.
That's incredible.
Daily. I think he said, and this number is not 100% accurate, they've had 62 launches so far this year. So anyway, took over Twitter. I don't think that was a very smart investment unless he's got an end game that no one else is seeing. Mark Zuckerberg saw the discord happening with Twitter. People that are on Twitter, started his own lookalike called Threads.
Right.
Now, Threads, which is a new Twitter-like platform, you can download it into your Instagram. I did find out, though, if you try to take it out of your Instagram once you download it, you've got to delete your whole profile.
Yeah.
Just saying. So therefore, Elon Musk...
It was tricky the way that they did it. And they're like, oh, we got 100 million subscribers out of nowhere. The way you did it was tricky, and now people can't delete it. And so I think that's what he meant when he said Zuck is a cuck.
I think
he's over there getting wet with Twitter, you know what I mean? And then Zuck tries to fire something off, you know what I mean?
Well, I think you can't delete it without deleting your profile, but I believe you can mute it as a option to not see Threads.
I think everybody should download it and then delete their entire Instagram profile.
I don't give a fuck if Twitter goes down and Threads continues. We're talking about billionaires here. Yes, social platforms, the ability to have your right to voice what you want without it being silenced is important. But at the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck. It's these two billionaires that are now fighting over it. So this launched a bunch of shit talking, which then somehow UFC president Dana White instigates saying that there's a fight.
They were going to fight previously to this whole Zuck is a cuck thing.
There's a lot of beef between them. They don't like each other.
There's been beef.
Yeah, exactly. All this hype about them getting in, doing like a UFC fight because Mark Zuckerberg trains in MMA and jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And I think Elon Musk, I don't know if he just started, but whatever. Yeah. He apparently does too.
He doesn't care.
Right. So then
Elon's a big guy.
Jiu-jitsu, that doesn't necessarily matter.
That's why the fight would be so cool to watch.
Oh my God, it would be amazing. It would be fucking amazing. Now, I
think Zuckerberg get his ass
Then
beat.
I get word Elon Musk's mom is the reason we're not seeing a fight.
Oh, really?
Yes. Elon Musk's mom stepped in and said, like, there's going to be no fight. I don't know why.
No fight today, boys.
Yeah. My son isn't going to fight. And then Elon Musk does what any true alpha male does when there's no other there's no other resolution. So now I challenge you to a dick measuring contest.
A literal.
Pull your wiener out. I have a bigger dick than you pussy.
12:45 p.m. Zuck is a cuck.
Zuck is a cuck. It's so juvenile. It is everything.
So then 8 hours later at 9 p.m. after a few glasses of wine, likely.
Yeah, and probably some yelling at his help.
He says, I propose a literal dick measuring contest and put a ruler icon.
You small dick fuck.
What a freaking beast.
What a beast. What a fucking nightmare. I mean, is there
nightmare?
What is there anything more juvenile?
I love it because it's funny. And
it's funny.
It's free speech. The point of Twitter is free speech. Facebook is controlled by the FBI and the CIA. And Twitter was as well until Elon bought it. Elon's a private citizen. He took the public company private.
It's true.
That's the point. Facebook, it's controlled, it's monitored. They can shut you down. They share information with the FBI. I mean, all your tweets, all your Instagram posts, everything, dude, it goes right to the U.S. government. It's about free speech. And although, yes, this is juvenile, it's also comedy. It's hilarious.
It's everything.
And I love it because it's like, what are you going to do about it, motherfucker? Nobody can do shit. Because we still have the ability to say what the fuck we want to say.
Okay.
You know?
Now, hold on 1 second. What I think he should have done.
Yeah. Got 10 kids.
Right.
Shooting slugs out of a cannon.
What? He challenged him verbally. I mean, obviously, it was text. But I think what he should have done.
On Twitter.
Without even typing anything.
Yeah.
Was to lay out the ruler.
Right.
And just straight lay his dick on the ruler and at Mark Zuckerberg.
I feel like Elon just wants to roll his dick out. I mean, he is African.
I wish he would have just laid his hog onto the measuring tape and just at Mark Zuckerberg. That's
what if
it.
he's bluffing and he's got a baby?
Yeah, I mean, that would be funny. What if he pulled his help and said, I know you got a huge cock. Come over here and lay it on the table.
It's funny no matter what. It's amazing. I just love it. These are the things that I just love.
These are the things that make me happy.
Yes. This is the joy. This is the news I like.
Yeah.
There's no way that the media created that.
No.
I love social media.
Well, you can't make this shit up.
No.
This is real life. This is reality.
This is reality. That's right.
This isn't scripted.
No.
When things aren't scripted, they get down to a 4-year-old level.
I mean, did you hear the interview with Elon Musk where there's about a 10-second clip and he was being interviewed by, someone from the financial channel, and the guy was asking him a question. Did you hear this? You hear his response and stuff?
No.
I got to play this. This is amazing.
Who's got the bigger dick, bitch?
I love it. Okay, here we go. You ready?
I am.
Let's talk a bit about your tweets, because it comes up a lot. Even today, it came up in anticipation of this. I mean, you do some tweets that seem to be, or at least give support to some who would call others conspiracy theories.
Well, yes, but I mean, honestly, some of these conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Which ones?
Well, like the Hunter Biden laptop.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was a pretty big deal. There was Twitter and others engaged in active suppression of information that was relevant to the public. That's a terrible thing that happened. That's election interference.
But how do you make a choice? You don't see. I mean, in terms of when you're going to engage. I mean, for example, even today, Elon, you tweeted this thing about George Soros. Well, I'm looking for it because I want to make sure I quote it properly. But you basically...
It reminds me of Magneto. It's just like, calm down, people. This is not like made a federal case out of it.
You also... you said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like, when you do something like that, do you
I think that's true. That's my opinion.
Okay, but why share it? Why share it? Especially because...
Why not?
Why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you? Advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you.
Because it's not all about the fucking money.
Why not just say, hey, I think this. You can tell me. We can talk about it over there. You can tell your friends. But why share it widely?
I mean, this is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what I want.
You absolutely are. But I'm trying to understand why you do, because you have to know it's got it puts you in the middle of the partisan divide in the country. It makes you a lightning rod for criticism. I mean, do you like that? People today saying he's an anti-Semite. I don't think you are.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm like a pro-Semite.
You're not going along with the fucking narrative, you asshole.
Is the case.
Yes.
But why would you even introduce the idea then?
Why?
That would be the case.
I mean, look, we don't want to make this a George Soros interview.
No, God, no. I don't want to at all. But what I'm trying, even came up though in the annual meeting. I mean, do your tweets hurt the company? Are there Tesla owners who say, I don't agree with his political position and I know it because he shares so much of it? Or there are advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, you got to stop, man. I can't get these ads because of some of the things you tweet.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm reminded of the scene in The Princess Bride. Great movie.
The Princess Bride.
Where he confronts the person who killed his father. Says,
prepared to die.
Offer me money. Offer me power. I don't care.
So you just don't care. You want to share what you have to say.
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
Fuck yeah. You know what? And if you have not seen this,
I mean, what a beast.
But if you have not seen this, the way that Elon Musk, he's looking at him like, are you a fucking idiot? That is the problem.
He tried to censor Elon Musk.
But he also,
live.
he tried to push the narrative,
shut the fuck up.
Why are you doing this? Because it's going to hurt you. Basically saying you're going against the narrative.
That's right. Why don't you just
Why
keep
are
your
you
mouth
doing
shut?
that? Yeah. And I love, he quotes.
Because I'm not a good little slave like you.
He quotes The Princess Bride. You killed my father. Prepare.
Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I'm looking for the six-fingered man.
Yeah. My name is Inigo Montoya.
I love it when he fights Wesley.
Yes.
The dread pirate Robert.
Of course.
When he pulls him up.
Yeah.
On the rope, and they're so polite to each other before they fight.
Oh my God, yeah.
He's like, forgive me for saying, how many fingers do you have on your hands? And he's like, pardon me, but why do you ask?
Yes. Oh my God.
He's like, I really like you. I just hate to have to kill you.
Yeah. Prepared to die. You killed my father.
What if Zuck came out with a dick pic that was just like a freaking, a telephone
just
pole?
A helmet.
No, it was just like a freaking huge microphone hanging down.
Oh my God, that's fucking nuts.
Zuckerberg's actually Dirk Diggler in real life.
Oh yeah, he's fucking he's the black dude on his dick is like hanging off the bed and touching the floor.
Such an epic meme.
Have you seen you can buy the light receptacle where his dick is the light switch?
Shut the fuck up.
He died.
He did?
And yeah, and someone's still making a fucking fortune off of him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've got a patch that goes onto my ruck bag or that can Velcro onto your hat of him.
That's amazing.
It is.
So have you heard of the movie that's in theaters right now called Sound of Freedom?
I have seen it, know very little about it, but I've been seeing it come up.
So you haven't seen the movie, but you know about it.
I do know that there is a movie that is new, and it's called The Sound of Freedom, and I'm guessing it has to do with freedom and a sound.
Well, what it's about, child trafficking, and it's about the pedophilia, and it's
I just saw a trailer for it a few minutes ago, actually.
Yeah, sex trafficking and children, and it's really making a big wave. It's been in the theaters since July 4th, and it's already grossed like 50 million, which is a big number. So a lot of people are going to watch this, and more are going to watch it. We're going to go and watch it, but I wanted to, as I heard about it, I did a little research. What it is, Sound of Freedom is a 2023 American action film where a former government agent embarks on a mission to rescue children from sex traffickers in Colombia. But it sounds really good. Now, as I started looking into this, and I've been hearing a lot about this lately, this term MAPS. Have you heard the term MAPS?
No, MAPS.
MAPS, M-A-P, and M-A-P is a minor attracted person. So instead of calling them pedophile...
So it's an acronym.
Instead of calling them a pedophile now, meaning they're attracted to preteen children. The pedophiles are attracted to preteen.
Well, which a pedophile would be.
That's correct. So what they're doing is now they're including that in the LGBTQ plus movement. They're including a space for minor attracted persons, i.e., minor attracted person is an umbrella term with any condition that means sexually attracted to minors, including pedophilia, attraction to prepubescent children, hebephilia, attraction to pubescent children, early adolescence, and ephebophilia, attraction to late adolescence. So you have them pre-teen, during puberty, and after puberty, okay?
But nonetheless, still underage.
Yeah, and ultimately what you're doing is
underage for our society at this day.
You're normalizing pedophilia. You're normalizing the sexual abuse of children. And apparently this is the fastest growing criminal action ever, is this child trafficking and these child sex rings and all the shit that's happening around it.
First of all, human trafficking in any sense, even if they're adults or teenagers or whatever, is you're selling slaves, but most of them are being used for sexual purposes.
Well, the liberal media is bashing the film, saying that it's for racist and it's for QAnon people and it's for white supremacists and it's for all of these different things. They're calling it QAnon adjacent and fit for QAnon. And they describe a film about human trafficking as fodder for conspiracy theorists, saying it's just a conspiracy theory. It's not even real. Now, I don't care what your political affiliation is. That's irrelevant to me, honestly. I don't give a shit. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I just want somebody to do a fucking good job. Okay?
Right.
I don't give a shit.
Get in there and fucking
just
work.
do a good job for our country, please. You know what I'm saying? How could you defend something like this? How could you defend it? How could you say, "Oh, no, that's actually normal. We shouldn't be making movies talking about these people. This is a form of persecution for you to come after these people just because they're attracted to minors. You're going to persecute them?"
Well, the dude Jared from Subway, he got how many years in jail for his fucking child pornography and fucking shit like that.
Oh, for sure, as he should. But I'm
yeah.
saying, how is it that they're going to come out against a movie that's exposing? I mean, the expose here is supposed to be just unbelievable. I haven't seen it. I'm going to see it this week. Maybe we should go watch it and then come back and report on it.
That's exactly what we should do.
But it's a pretty big deal. It's only in theater, so we should go watch it in the theater.
It's got to be disturbing as fuck.
I've heard it's quite disturbing.
And I'll bet.
And quite informative.
Eye-opening, because
eye-opening.
We're not human traffickers. So while we do know about that, I don't know about the operations of a human trafficking ring.
Right.
So that would be eye-opening if they are exposing some of these elements as to how it's being marked. Like, I mean,
the whole thing,
the
dude.
dark web. That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. So the film itself, I think they're doing a great service to humanity. I mean, how brave you have to be to put something out like that. It's strange that we have to even have these conversations, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that we have to even talk about this stuff? I mean, I would like to talk about other things, but these are the things that are bothering me.
Right. Please share your thoughts, your perspectives, and some of you do. We just welcome even more of it. Join the show at ManFUzed.com or 770-744-5227.